Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Heaven's Secret 2, Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale. I'm so intrigued because technically MALBONTE said that he's gonna give us up to Plague and the other horsemen, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. So I'm actually very curious to see how this is gonna end, especially since we are not really half-breeds. We are just the descendants of the first half-breed, so I think that would make us in general special. So that's why they need us to open the last two seals. But I don't think that we're gonna be capable to handle it as much as MALBONTE and the other half-breeds were able to. So let's hope that we're not gonna die this episode, but well, let's see. The last seats are opened. I don't want to know what the future holds. Well, because if I find out, I might give up. Or it would give you motivation to keep on fighting. Oh god, I did not have to see that background firsthand. Episode 10, welcome mother! This actually gives me the vibes of the Vampire Diaries when Esther suddenly showed up in the house of the original vampires. Oh god, I shuddered just before I woke up. Oh god, did they knock us out? It seemed as if I was falling and couldn't spread my wings. Or maybe I didn't have wings at all. No! I blinked again and again, peering into the darkness. Is anyone here? I think right now we're just literally starting to become crazy. And I'm not saying crazy as in delusional, but I have the feeling that being in a confined space for too long, being insanely anxious, not knowing what to do, and especially if you're like someone that wants to control everything, even the situation that you are confronting right now, knowing that you can't, is one thing, but you are still willing to try to control it all, and you can't. And being in a confined space is literally showing you that you can't control anything, and that's making you start to hallucinate. Because you have the feeling that your power is leaving you, like you're losing control over the situation and you don't know how to handle that. So your body is reacting in signs that you are psychologically unwell. It's in a certain sense a drug addict losing its source to the drugs. You're then trying to recover from that addiction. We're doing that too. Voices came from behind the wall, but I couldn't make out any words or whom they belonged to. I touched my head and winced, remembering. I tried to hold back the horseman's power, but I lost consciousness. I hope they didn't kill anyone. Well, damn. There was dry blood everywhere, along with skeletons and corpses that hadn't had time to fully decompose. So we're actually alone in that cell. Damn. They died shackled and weren't released even after death. Damn. What did the horsemen do there? Did they extract information? Did they enjoy the pain of others? Yes. Didn't you see what they're doing? And did MALBONTE have a part in any of that? I mean, we know that MALBONTE is capable of that, so I wouldn't put it past him, but I would put it past him that he didn't enjoy it. He killed because he thought it was necessary back in the day. Now, it's not really necessary, but they want to kill, and they want to get MALBONTE to kill for them. So I wouldn't put it past him that he would have been responsible for many deaths, but I would put it past him that he didn't enjoy it. I got to my feet, took a few steps forward until the chains grew tight and pulled on them with every ounce of strength. The iron groaned, but didn't give in. My wrists ached. It's not working. It seems likely that the chains suppress energy, since none of these poor souls were able to get out. I paced around the cell as far as the shackles allowed, like a caged tiger waiting to break free and sink its teeth into its captor's throat. But as time passed, my strength left me. My body grew cold, and I returned to the floor. I sat there, staring at the opposite wall until I fell asleep without even noticing it. I was awakened from my sleep by the creak of a door opening. Who is it? It was very quiet, but clear enough for me to know it was real and not a figment of my imagination. See, we're hallucinating! There was a figure standing in the doorway. Huh? Who are you? The immortal took a step forward. Well, at least he's not dead. At least he's not dead.
Don't be afraid, it's me.
You're alive? Me!
Hunger kept me locked up, but then the door opened by itself. Miss Selena and Gerald told me what happened.
I managed to escape. What a relief.
I brought water, some food, and clean clothes. Good rest now. I need to free the others.
What's your plan? Fenzio stopped in the doorway.
To get out of here for starters.
That. His cloak rustled as he hurried toward the other cells. I don't know what to do with Fenzio, to be honest. Like, he's a manipulative little bitch. And he's also capable to do horrible deeds, but so is Malbonte. Let's just say it like this. Everyone has dark sides, so he's mostly showing his evil personality traits, that's all. But he does have good personality traits, and around the right people, he's also showing it. Right now, he's actually showing that he doesn't want us to get hurt. Even though, back in the day, he killed us so that we could free Malbonte. But I see that as a win because, first off, we gained immortal powers even though Plague took them away from us. But second, we were introduced to our soulmate, so it's fine. I opened the bottle and greedily drank a third of it. Almost without chewing, I swallowed the entire bun. We'll escape the dungeon, but what next? We'll fight until our dying breath. We'll hide until it's all over. I'm not hiding. I've done hiding so many times. When I felt at my most vulnerable, I was like, I need to go to bed. I want to be alone. Like, I completely shutted myself off from everything and everyone. I just wanted to be alone, either scream or cry it out no matter what. But that's not the best option. And if someone is out there provoking me, if someone is out there trying to destroy me, there's no way I'm waiting until it's over. First of all, it will never be over because they are horsemen, like they are immortal. They're not gonna die, and neither are we. So it's never gonna be over. So there's no way I'm running. We'll try to come up with a better plan. What plan? We're literally in the lion's den. We'll fight. We'll fight until our dying breath. I untied the bag and took out the clean clothes and quickly changed. Right. I like the way they keep on shaming on the outfits. Aw, I don't know. That's also cute. You all know I'm a sucker for red, so I'm red. Stop with this one. I combed my hair with my fingers. They all look horrible. I'm so sorry. Nah, they all look horrible. I don't know. Let me go with this. They all look horrible. I'm so sorry. Maybe I could have also taken the curly hair, but no. They all looked horrible. 15 minutes later, we were free of our cells. All the surviving members of the Order were there. I was seeing some of them for the first time, but Mom and Aragon knew them. I also recognized some immortals that accompanied Dino and Winchester on reconnaissance missions. They looked tough and didn't seem scared. All the horrors they'd witnessed seemed to have knocked any fear out of them. This will only last until their first encounter with death. Nah, I hope their fearlessness will give them strength. Period! Strength! Like, that's the only thing we need. And not just physical strength, but also psychological strength. Psychological strength is what keeps you going. If you're psychologically done, no strength of the body is gonna help you. Dino gripped his father's shoulder tightly, as if he still couldn't believe that he was alive. Fenzio didn't hide his pride. He cherished his son's warm touch. Aww. We crowded around one of the cells.
Where are we? This is an abandoned prison. No one has used it for a long time. If I remember correctly, we're on one of the small islands. And is there anything on the surface? There was a structure here when we still used the prison. Now it's a wandering island. I don't know what's happened since. Those men may be waiting for us up there.
Everyone looked at Fenzio.
When I found you, there was no one there. Do you have any morals down?
Fenzio shook his head.
Not anymore. Blake's puppets are guarding all the caves.
Shit. Mammon slapped Addie on the back of the head.
Watch your language.
That's his biggest issue right now.
There's no other option. We need to get out of here. I'll show you the way.
Fenzio led us along narrow corridors. We turned several corners, walked past long rows of cells, and then came to a dead end. For a second, I was afraid it was a trap, but Fenzio pointed up. There was a hatch in the ceiling. There was no way of reaching it but to fly up.
One at a time. First I'll check to make sure no one is there.
Fenzio spread his wings when Winchester suddenly whispered,
Thank you.
Winchester.
Don't thank me.
Honestly, it could be possible that I'm starting to stand Fenzio. Because it's the awareness for me. He's like, don't thank me yet. Like, you're still here. Don't thank me yet.
Don't thank me yet.
He flew up and pushed aside the hatch, letting in the light of the night sky, and went out. After a moment, his head appeared. His shoulder-length hair covered half his face.
It's clear. Eliza Addins, you go first.
One by one, they went up. My patient was threadbare by the time it was my turn. The creepy place brought back memories of my past imprisonments. I wanted to be free as quickly as possible. Honestly, in general, this is... Oh, wow. Okay. But this looks so insanely cool. What I wanted to say, though, before I was taken aback by this beautiful background, I doubt that we're safe, though. Like, we fainted. There is no way that they didn't bring us somewhere to where they would be capable to find us. I was mistaken. It was midday, but the clouds were so thick that the sun rays barely reached the ground. Only ruins remained of what was once a building, imprints of history. In the middle of the island, stones were lined up in several circles, creating a strange pattern, as if intended for some kind of ritual. I don't like this place. Neither do I. Me neither. It has strange energy. We turned at the sound of someone's laughter, which filled me with pure horror. Blake was flying above us, tightly holding Kira's hand. How lovely. I know that you would obediently come out and I wouldn't have to drag you. At the moment, Wara landed with a crash from the other direction. Hunger descended the ruined stairs and stopped at the mysterious circle's edge. I immediately surrounded him with a dome so that he wouldn't be able to weaken the others. Fenzio, my friend, were you the one who freed them? You need to be punished.
I'm ready.
You know what? Yes, Fenzio! Yes, Fenzio! Blake laughed and began to descend without letting go of Kira's hand. She stopped near Fenzio, looked him over carefully, almost pressing against him, and then turned on her heel and walked up to Rebecca. Maybe I should kill her then. Don't you need her?
You need her to open the seal.
Simona has discovered her power. Who knows, maybe she can handle this task on her own. Excuse me, I was kidding in the beginning. In the opening, I was like, she needs us to open the seals. But I was kidding. Hold on. No. She's actually planning to kill us, y'all. She's like, bitch, you're dying. You're dying. There's nothing else I can say for you. You discovered your true powers. You discovered lengths of energy. We're gonna use you to open both seals, not just one. Blake grabbed Mom by the neck and lifted her in the air. Mom tried to pry off the horseman's fingers, but her face remained serious without a trace of fear. No!
Leave her alone.
Winchester, please!
Don't.
Blake looked intently at Winchester. Or is it better to kill you?
On the condition that you don't touch Rebecca.
Bitch! Oh my god, I can't with all these people. Like, if you say on the condition that you don't, I'm willing to die for her. They're like, okay, she's killing you and her. Like, what's wrong with these people? Like, don't they know how demented people think? Like, Blake is demented. She's willing to kill. What is wrong with them?
On the condition that you don't touch Rebecca.
No, don't listen to him. How amusing. Such a difficult choice. Maybe it'd be better to let Fenzio determine your fate. Or should I kill as your punishment for your betrayal? Your lover or horse? Honestly, this is a very ironic dynamic.
Fancio.
He didn't need to think. Almost at once he said,
Winchester, it's better this way.
"No, please, tell her to kill me."
Fancio.
No. Mom clung to Blake's arms but didn't try to escape. All her attention was directed at Fancio. Mom was drowning in the despair that Blake filled her with, but she still chose to give her life instead of Winchester's. She still loved him selflessly. She's anything but selfless, but I do believe that she loves him, though. Like, we're actually seeing it right now.
So what, Fancio? Will you choose Winchester?
He was silent for some time, and when Blake brought her index and thumb together to snap them, he leaned forward and exclaimed,
"Rebecca, I choose Rebecca."
What is all this? What is all this commotion? Like, no, kill her. No, kill him. Honestly, she's so demented, she's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna kill Rebecca, I'm gonna kill Winchester, and I'm gonna kill Fancio. People, where's your common sense? Mom closed her eyes. Tears ran down her cheeks in streams.
Thank you. Fancy, you son of a bitch. What are you doing? She chose you. She asked me to do.
I'm sorry. I'm kinda here for the drama between these three. That's hilarious. But honestly, at this point, back in the day, Winchester was killed by heaven, and Rebecca was left untouched. Now it's her turn to die, and Winchester's gonna live. The irony. His voice was hollow.
Father.
Dino.
I do this. How charming. You're ready to kill your beloved to save the life of the one she loves. Such perverted love. Have it your way.
No! Ooh! Redirect her energy! Blake snapped her fingers, but instead of hitting Mom, she blew up her own hand. I'm sorry, I was so focused on her eyes. Period! I won't allow it. Period. Try me! Oh, you little pest. I said let her go, bitch. I mean, it would have been just that she would have died. Like, any chance to bitch at Blake, I do it. She staggered but didn't release my mother. Her fingers became a gory mess and blood flowed like a river onto the ground. But Blake had fed on plenty of despair and began to regenerate very quickly.
You think I can tear her to pieces with my bare hands?
Enough with the games! First we heard his voice and then we saw him. He walked slowly as his black energy engulfed us in a matter of seconds.
The time between the opening of the seals must be shortened so that the chains around the mother won't tighten. She's waited far too long. Let's not test her patience.
He looked at Plague. The horsewoman set my mother down, straightened her clothes, and with a smile like nothing had happened, extended her hand to Kira.
We have to go.
No, I don't want to, Kira. Let go.
Don't be afraid. Do you remember what I told you?
It has no power unless you give into it. Akira! Honestly, I feel bad. Like, after she saw what Blake did to Satan, she's like, let me go. And she's literally still a child. Like, even Malbonte looked at her strangely in season 1 when she was like, where is Kira?
Exactly.
Aragon. The moment Aragon began to move, War appeared right in front of him. The tip of the horseman's sword rested on Aragon's Adam's apple.
I wouldn't do it if I were you.
War. War. War, why? Honestly, at this point, I'm actually thinking about immediately just doing war. Because I'm intrigued of how he would react when we're his partner. Plague brought Kira to the center of the circle and handed her the book. She crouched down so their faces were closer and smoothed the girl's hair. The gesture seemed maternal and tender. I was surprised to see Plague being so affectionate, and apparently I wasn't the only one. Even a monster can love? Kira is her weak spot. Honestly, I have the feeling that she sees herself in Kira. And that's why she's being like this. Even a monster can love? If you can call that love.
You need to touch it and let the power flow from you into the book and back into you. It will be unpleasant, but don't take your hand away under any circumstances. Do you understand me?
Yes, Akira.
Okay. Blake stood up. She is ready.
The horsemen stood around Kira, who remained alone in the center. She trembled, clutching the book in her hands. Let it in. Kira closed her eyes and then screamed, choking on tears. Oh God, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, she's a child. I'm not saying that just because someone is old they have to suffer, okay? But like, she's a child. She looks like 9 years old. So much pain at such a young age, that's not necessary. She fell to her knees. Her hair was blown back by a gust of wind. Several strands covered her flushed face. Plague took a step but stopped herself.
Damn it.
A whirlwind spun in the center of the ritual circle, then gradually expanded, plugging the entire island into the cold. And at the end of the day, the eye is gonna open. It literally seems like an eyeball. Jesus. The air became heavy as if poisoned. The already cloudy sky darkened, hanging over our heads in judgment.
What is that?
Sammy pointed somewhere into the distance at a series of rapidly approaching dots. Soon we could make out 7 half-breeds. What? They were in shackles, scared and clearly weakened. The half-breeds landed near the horsemen of death and bowed their heads obediently. They want to open the last seal. Right now.
Hell, I won't let them.
Mammon, I don't think you're gonna be able to do something. Mammon transformed. Arrogant suddenly flew into the air, spreading his wings and his arms. They need us! When he looked down, his eyes glowed with a bright white light, and his aura changed, becoming denser and more destructive. Ooh! A raven's cry came from above. He flew around his master, whispering the future to him. Oh! Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the teeth.
It's starting to annoy me.
Death sluggishly raised his hand, but I instantly suppressed his energy. Try me! However, hunger's power was unleashed, and arrogance aura began to weaken. The others didn't waste any time either, and trying to separate plague and war from hunger began to attack. Their strength was fading, but there was more of them.
Simona, protect them, not me.
The raven would help Arrogant escape at the right moment, and Death wouldn't kill others with a blast of energy. His power was focused on a target. What if Arrogant tried to dodge, but it didn't help him? I looked back at the others. It was becoming more and more difficult for them to resist the weakness that hunger inflicted. Something had to be done. Shit. I need one more. Shit. Leave Arrogant unprotected. Sorry. I recreated the dome around hunger. With their strength restored, the members of the order began to fight with all their might again. No one had died yet. Yeah, Arrogant is gonna die because we can protect him. The raven began to fly around Arrogant, croaking pitifully as if to warn him of something terrible and permanent. Death took a step forward, looking at Arrogant with a grin.
Do you know why you are still alive? You're fighting with all your might. You cling to life. It is worthy of respect. Perhaps the Mother of Life will have mercy on you as a fine specimen among her children's creation.
He raised his hand.
But there is a limit to everything. If you interfere too much, you will be killed.
He moved his fingers.
No.
Arrogant didn't have time to move. Something in his face changed, as if he had heard something intended only for his ears. His raven screamed again, and then Amicus fell, letting the wind tear at his feathers. His wings were spread and fluttered unnaturally like rags. The raven exploded!
No.
You failed to protect Arrogant and his raven died. Yep. I knew someone was gonna die because... He furiously rushed at Death, but Dinah stopped him in time and threw him to the ground.
Calm down.
Arrogant trembled as if a part of him had been torn from his chest and left a bleeding wound. He stood up and said in a strained voice,
Thank you. You're welcome.
Arrogant has my heart. Like, he's actually such a cutie. They both turned to the horsemen. I was scared for them. What would happen next? Would I really have to choose again? Whom to protect and whom to abandon to the mercy of fate? Just because of one, people. I hate this.
We only have one seal left to open.
The horseman's voice was so loud that it reverberated in my chest.
The book of life has responded to you, descendants of the strongest half-breed.
Strongest half-breed. He looked at me and Mom.
You will open the final seal together. And it's up to you to decide how many corpses will fall to the ground before that.
As if to prove his words, he suddenly grabbed one of the order members rushing past. He squeezed his skull, and without even having time to make a sound, the immortal went limb suspended from Death's hand. The horseman threw the body aside and then tilted his head as if trying to decipher our emotions. I can't protect anyone from death while Hunger is here. I turned to him. He stood alone, abandoned. He didn't interfere, but he didn't leave either. If only he would leave. He didn't choose this fate. We must get rid of Hunger first. He does his job. Honestly, he didn't choose his fate. I'm sorry. Just like the rest of us, period. Hunger suddenly took his eyes off me and looked up into the sky. I followed his gaze. Lucifer. He was rapidly approaching the island. Plague threw Mammon away from her chest and rushed to Lucifer. Come at me! Oh yes, Lucifer! Plague flew toward him with her arms outstretched. Her fingers were tense and spread like talons, ready to claw his face, but he darted aside and flew at Hunger. The horseman didn't move, he just watched the demon approach him. Lucifer collided with him and wrapped his arms around him in a death grip, and he wanted to fly as fast as he could. They crossed the island in a flash. Lucifer pressed his wings to his back and, together with Hunger, plumped into the abyss. What is this? We couldn't see them, but we heard the whistle of their descent, Hunger's laughter, and then Lucifer's scream. He screamed because the horseman was draining all his energy. He screamed because he was losing the strength he needed to drag the horseman along. He screamed because he couldn't afford to let him go. Lucifer did it so that I could focus on death. And I directed all my power at the horseman right then, not allowing him to take a single life. Plague landed cursing Lucifer. She was the only one who ran to the edge to see what happened to them. I don't see them.
They will fall unconscious and Hunger will return. Finish with them.
War fought the members of the order just like Plague, but I couldn't help but notice that he wasn't using his power. He was fending them off, but not seriously attacking anyone. He's a child! He's my child! He's literally just like Hunger. He is just like Hunger. They were born like this, but they don't want it, and they can't do anything about it now, because it's too late. Death had clearly lost his patience. He pointed his hand in my direction.
Let's see how many hits you can take before your defense break.
Maintain. As soon as I mentally raised the protective dome, Death's energy came rushing at me. With each deadly blow, more and more cracks appeared in my shield. Damn.
Hang in there, Simona. Don't let the barrier down.
How am I supposed to do that? Dan and Aragon began to attack Death from both sides. He had to leave me alone to deal with them, but I blocked his attacks.
You're bleeding.
He suddenly lowered his hand and stopped attacking, only defending himself. What's wrong? I wiped my face and looked at my bloody fingers. Oops, well, what if... I looked at my mother, caught up in the whirlwind of battle, fighting back and attacking so fierce and unyielding. What if Mom and I commit suicide? Will this nightmare end? Oh! Yeah, Malbonte was like, no, bitch, you're not dying. Oh, Malbonte, I missed you. I was literally thinking that because last episode we found out that he's reading our mind because he was like, that's the only way he can talk to us, so he heard our thoughts.
No.
His voice sounded in my head and I immediately spotted him among the members of the order. He fought them off without doing any real damage, tossing them aside like sacks of trash. Malbonte. He's like, don't you dare.
Don't you dare. They will find other suitable half-breeds. It will take time, but then they will get less patient.
I didn't answer. I just watched as he deflected blows without even looking at me. Were my thoughts really that accessible to him? Yes. It was exciting and frightening at the same time. Hunger opened a door to a power I didn't know I had. To a strength, not a weakness. I don't have to look at Death to suppress his aura. I can feel his energy everywhere. I just need to focus on it. I closed my eyes and imagined enveloping his dark aura in a dense invisible barrier. I felt the horseman trying to destroy it in several places, but I didn't allow it.
When you open the seal, your life will lose its significance, and then I will show you how weak your power and your body are.
I turned to him and froze, scared. He stood looking at me with a withering, menacing smile, and next to him an immortal was writhing, suspended in the air. Death was holding him firmly by the neck with ease, and then he slowly began to tighten his grip. The member of the order screamed and thrashed in his hand until the horseman crushed his spine, severing his head from his shoulders. I gasped and closed my eyes again so as not to lose focus. He was still strong enough to destroy us all with his bare hands. We're in deep shit. Mom fell to the ground, pressing a bloody palm to her leg. Meanwhile, Plague was moving toward her. Father! Mimi ran straight past me to Mammon. He was lying with his back against a tree trunk. Eliza kneeled beside him, covering his wound with trembling hands. He was alive, but he could no longer fight. If I tear off your leg and arms, you will live. Can I have a little fun? Mom crawled away from her, looking over her shoulder. She was getting closer and closer to the edge. Kira stood at a distance, watching what was happening in horror. That's what you did, girl. I can't just stand here. I have to do something. Look at this. No, I don't have that much. Help Mom get up. I ran up to my mother, shielding her with my body. Come on, get up. Thank you. Mom extended her hand, then suddenly pushed me away and shouted, Behind you. Oh, God. So Plague killed her. I only managed to place a weak barrier, which dispersed part of the blow intended for us, but the reminder struck my back with unbearable pain. She didn't intend to kill me and only wanted to inflict suffering. Yeah. I almost fell on my mother, grinding my teeth so as not to burst into tears. My defenses weakened. Death would be able to break through. Minus strength, of course, because we're not impulsive enough. I can't, this is ridiculous. At least let us pay. Hang in there, Simona. Can you hear me? Yes, I hear you. Plague stopped behind me, leaned closer to my ear and whispered, Get this woman away from me. This reminds me of season 1, episode 4, where she literally leaned in close on our face and then started to lick our ear. Get away from me. Insignificant bug. You won't be able to do anything. Winchester and Aragon kept trying to wound Death, but he invariably dodged or recovered so quickly that it didn't matter. Mom grabbed my hand and led me to the edge. What are you doing? We backed away, keeping an eye on what was happening on the island. We need to get out of here. Hide so they won't find us. We will lose. The horsemen turned to us. Yeah, we can't leave, they need specifically us. The look of alarm in War's eyes was as clear as Shout, warning us against what we were about to do. War. Why war? You can see it in his eyes, you can see it in his expression, that he actually cares. He cares about us, yet he's still fighting for them. Like I said, I don't think he has a choice, just like hunger. Hunger gave us the power could be capable to absorb powers. I mean, I did say that since the beginning. I'm shocked that it's actually true. But what can you do at this point? There's nothing you can do. He was born like this and he can't do anything but to want to inflict all that. But I think that's something that a lot of people just try to ignore. Hunger is using his powers, yes. Because, Plague and Death are use your powers. That's why we have to use ours in order to stop hunger from weakening us. But that's something that was said in the beginning of this episode. War is there, but he's not using his powers. It's like he has controlled the fact that he can inflict anger on others, and he refuses to use them to fill us all with anger. I think that already shows that he does not want to be part of this.
This is a mistake for which you will pay in blood.
Aren't we all paying in blood? Mom, I'm not sure. But she only squeezed my fingers tighter.
We have no other choice. Well...
Death stretched out his hand and his blow hit my wall so powerfully that I could barely breathe. My dome shattered. And after that, Aragon and Winchester fell.
No.
Oh, God. It actually just... That's something I would expect from her, that disgusting love. Plague took advantage of my shock and the other's horror to rush at Dino, grab him by the shoulder, and snap her fingers. Oh no, she killed Dino! Why? His blood splashed across her face. What is going on? With a ringing sound, War took out his sword and in 3 precise, well-executed strikes, beheaded Mimi and her parents. Look at him! He doesn't know what to do it, but he's doing it. So, am I gonna blame him or not? I 100% am gonna blame him. He killed Mimi. What can I do? Like, I am like this. I feel bad for War because I can see that he does not want to do it. And sometimes you have to take sacrifices in order to reach your end goal. In this particular situation, we can call it a necessary evil. In War's eyes, of course, where he's like, I can't do anything about it. As soon as my mother woke up, maybe I'm gonna be capable to free myself of this curse, as in wanting to inflict war on everyone, and I will finally be capable to live normally. Astaroth tried to interfere with a furious cry, but suffered the same fate. Astaroth died too! What is all this bullshit? All the love interests die? What is this? Mimi is dead. Dino is dead. Mammon is dead. Eliza is dead. Astaroth is dead too. What is this bullshit? A river of blood flooded the island, reminiscent of the horsemen's airy world. No, I won't forgive you. I won't be able to anymore. That's too much. Yeah, like you be doing too much. That means that War also killed Astaroth because we're like, he suffered the same fate. As in, the same fate as Mimi and her parents. He beheaded Astaroth. Bitches, what is this? Malbonte shuddered, continuing to stand in the blood of my loved ones. Malbonte! Malbonte! You could actually... I cannot. Like, Malbonte is a sweetheart. Back then at the ball, he also was like, take them away, take your loved ones and get them out of here before I have to kill them. Because I know how you truly feel and I know that you truly care about people. And since I won't be capable to refuse the orders of the horsemen, I will have to do what they ask of me for now. So, please get your loved ones out of here. Because I don't want to make you suffer. I cannot. And now he actually sees that we're crying that we broke down and he feels bad. Look at him. He actually feels guilty. He does not want us to go through any of that pain. Like, Malbonte is the right one. Like, Malbonte, I mean, there are a lot of hotties in this game. Like, the confusion is real, but Malbonte is the only real option for me. Because we know that he's capable of doing horrible things. But that's something that we would never expect out of a real villain. To be capable to forgive. He could have killed Addie. Like, Addie literally rammed an umbrella into this man's chest. But he just smacked his head against the wall. He could have killed him. But he didn't. Because he knows that we care about Addie. Are we seeing all of this? That's unconditional love. That's real love that this man has for us. I love Malbonte so much. We have to go, Simona. We have to go. Mom pulled me further. As if in a dream, I took a step back, then another one, still staring at their bloody bodies. As I drowned in tears and with one more step, the support suddenly vanished from under my feet. We plumbed. What is this? The wind whistled in my ears, drowning out my mother's sobs and mine. Or was it just me crying? Mom held me tightly in her arms. This can't be. Pull yourself together. What is this? I literally don't have any points for nothing. Drown in sorrow. That's always so hilarious. Minus strength again. Come on. They're all dead, Mom. I screamed and trashed in her arms. Calm down, Simona. We need to fly. But I couldn't. I didn't see the point. Mom opened her wings and rushed onward as far as possible from the island. We flew for so long that our strength was gone. Sorrow sucked everything we had left out of us. Nah. See, I did say one minus strength. I'm sorry, this finale is hilarious in my eyes. Just because of those options. If we don't have enough points for anything, then just give us the option to pay for it. Like, the flapping of our wings gradually grew weaker and we would have given up and folded them ready to meet the end. But something changed. My feet were suddenly supported by something that couldn't possibly be in the sky. What? And my shoulders felt heavy. Instead of clouds, the outlines of ruins began to appear before my eyes. What? We're back. We're back.
Pathetic. You didn't realize that it was an illusion.
Mom and I were on our knees in the very center of the circle. I cannot, this is hilarious. I quickly looked around. Lucifer was lying unconscious by one of the trees.
And Chester, I'm here. Everything is fine.
So Lucifer is still alive, but the other ones are dead. Wow. They were all alive. What?
Oh my god, thank you. Thank you.
I was about to throw a riot. Okay. Everything's fine. They were all alive but robbed of their strength. Without me, Hunger's aura had broke loose and he hadn't even tried to contain it. I trembled with relief and shock.
You're all alive. Someday you will understand how insignificant your attempts to resist us are.
Nah. Alone for that bullshit. Death snatched the book of life from Plague's hands and approached us.
Touch it.
No. Screw you! I have to. Screw you! Death just smiled and raised his hand, pointing at Fancio, Arrogant, and Winchester, who were lying in a semi-conscious state by a tree next to us. I didn't want the illusion inspired by hunger to become reality, so I had to obey. Mom seemed to have the same idea because she silently touched the book right after I did. As soon as our fingers touched the rough cover, an electrical current passed through our hands and trembled to our hearts. It flooded my entire body with sharp pain, scorching my insides with an icy flame. I'm sorry, this is something that I don't understand. If the soul touching of that book causes such a pain inside of someone's body, how is someone capable to hold on to it? Isn't the natural reaction of a human being to just throw away the source of your pain? If you're lying in bed and suddenly you are hot under all those blankets, don't you just rip off the blankets? As if I'm gonna stay there and let electrical wires run through my body, like I would throw the book away. I realized that I was screaming only when my voice became a rough wheeze. Something was happening. Something filled me with energy and then took it all away down to the last drop, and both processes brought suffering. I cracked my eyes open and saw my mother's wings change color, becoming red, then black, and then returning to their original form again. What? Something happened to mine too, but I didn't see what it was, and it didn't matter. Oh, choose current wing. Oh, yes. Choose all of them. I don't know. You know what? Alone from MALBONTE. Yes. We're queens. The pain grew and I felt my mother trembling next to me. Our strength left us and we collapsed to the ground. We have new wings though. Open your eyes, mother. Oh, that's hilarious. Somehow I managed to open my eyes when I heard a trumping sound. The 7 young half-breeds who, according to the horsemen, didn't have enough potential to open the seals, blew the horns. What? Tears flowed down some of their cheeks. They didn't want this, but they had no choice. Just like all of us.
Look at me.
MALBONTE. His voice sounded in my head again. I found him among the others. He looked agitated, his chest heaving with quick, uneven breath. I don't think we all realize what's going on. I literally said it every single time up to this point. He didn't want us to suffer. He didn't want us to be involved. But with time, he realized that there was no way that we could get out of this without being harmed. He literally just saw us break down in tears. Like, if you love someone, the worst thing that you could go through is to see them suffer. He literally watched us tremble, break down, scream in agony and pain. And perhaps that also gave him backflashes to when he got hurt by Sifa Malum. Like, just imagine the torment this man is going through. He literally did not want us to be involved. And now he saw how we broke down, and it reminded him of one of the most horrible moments of his life. And if you truly love someone, you don't want them to have to go through the same thing. Imagine the frustration MALBONTE feels right now. He looked agitated, his chest heavying with quick, uneven breaths.
I understand that you're scared, but you can handle it.
Can I?
Be strong.
I'm so sorry. You better not leave me, you bitch. You better not leave me. You better not leave me. I'm gonna kill you myself if you do.
Be strong. I won't leave you. I promise.
Oh, MALBONTE! In response, I just closed my eyes. The half-breeds finished playing their requirement for our world, and as soon as the horns fell silent, an unnatural silence loomed in the air. The background! Did we see the background? The sun slowly came out from behind the clouds, looking bloodier by the minute, and it tainted the sky like an infection. Yeah, it became black. The ground trembled, cracking all over, but the cracks went further, all the way to the horizon. Space itself began to tear like a canvas. Yes, yes, yes.
No, 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 no.
There were screams. Those who had the strength began to run and crawl away, but there was nowhere to run. Where are you going, bitch? Like, there is nowhere you can go. Like, this is the end of the world, not just the end of heaven. Not anymore. An alien energy burst into our world, comparable to a tsunami that washes entire cities away. It was so powerful that my heart skipped a beat, as though afraid that it couldn't cope with the pressure. Through the torn fabric of space, slowly, as if from a mother's womb, the universe emerged. That which had given birth to us and was coming to take back its gift. Oh my god, yes! Oh, wow. Are we seeing this animation? Yes. Not the flowers! Death took a few steps toward the rift and shouted, spreading his arms to the sides.
Welcome, mother.
And the rest of the horsemen, bowing their heads, repeated after him in a chorus.
Welcome, mother.
Welcome, mother.
Welcome, mother.
What the fuck? Thank the developers. Wait, what? What is this? I'm not sure I understand anything that's going on, but why not? What? What happened? But yes, it was Hello Mother. Oh my god, I cannot. So that was the season finale. And MALBONTE did give us a promise. He said he would never leave us, and he better keep that promise, because I literally gave up on every single other hottie in this game just for this man. Because literally, let's be real here, no matter how many hotties appear, MALBONTE will always have a special place in our hearts. Like, don't lie to me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The next episode that will be uploaded will be the Song of the Crimson Isle. I read so many comments that are telling me that I have to read it because I'm gonna love it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.